that doesn't really solve the underlying problem here, which is this administrative state. And so how do we fix that moving forward? Does it only have to be through Congress, or can anything else be done?
Well, I mean, first, just for Trump, practically, what do they do now? I just published an article yesterday by Michael Waller. I had him come out and say it because he sort of said it on the show. And he says the Trump family, the campaign, they should just hire private security. They should get some of the top private security in the world. And I think they should as well. I mean, they should at least take that under consideration and say, screw you guys. We're going to go have our rallies and whatever. We're going to hire the top private security in the world. We had Eric Prince on our show. I could be one of those people who's done this before with a great success rate in places like Iraq. So, the talent is out there. And I don't think that that's a crazy idea. I think it's probably the only thing that I would, if I were in the position of Donald Trump right now, I would do that tomorrow, right? I'd pick up the phone and say, I can't trust these people. So how do you work around, in other words, this dilapidated administrative state? And I think that's a model, for a lot of people. Take defense industries, right? There's a lot of young people in tech who are trying to get around the prime contractors doing some amazing work. And they have to act as sort of guerrilla warfare, right? To get around this private public colossus. And so when there is just in our own lives, like especially if you're younger looking at the world, if you do live in that kind of corrupt system, well, you can play with that. You can go around it. You can arbitrage. You can leverage this kind of thing. So that's one thing. In order to actually solve it, though, in order to really get down to it, I think you would need Congress to take back its power to legislate laws, to take back regulatory power, which seems impossible right now. Like, it's not going to do it on its own because it is definitely beholden to the administrative state rather than the other way around. But there's things you could do to make that happen. So if you were president, one of the most radical things you could do is say, large swaths of this administrative state, I've had my lawyers look at and I deem to be unconstitutional delegation of powers to these agencies. Therefore, I don't think they really exist. And I'm going to do everything in my power to get rid of them. I don't think they're legal, constitutional. And then, Congress, those agencies, the courts will get involved. But you try to force Congress to act and say, if you want to make this, you got to pass a law. And then the most obvious thing is the president has to assert the power. The office of the presidency has to assert its power to remove people. And removal powers goes back for a long time. Court cases, it's very messy. Right now, the president can't fire, tens of thousands of people.